Well, you guys, it was just 2.5 years ago that quarterback Justin Fields decommitted from Penn State. Well, now he gears up against the Nittany Lions as a rival Buckeye, but he still has high praise for their program, especially when they're having a standout season like Justin Fields is having. He's responsible for 41 touchdowns. He's got a 69% completion rate and just 1 interception. Yeah, not too shabby. I feel for James Franklin. So this all adds up to 2 dominant teams battling it out in conference play for that spot in Indy in the Big Ten Championship and a playoff berth.
Chase, they're calling you a generational talent, leading the nation in sacks and tackles for loss, but there's one award that's lingering out there, the Heisman. Can you just kind of talk about the emotions of going through that as a defensive player?
It's definitely different, you know.
And also in competition, you talked about wanting to replace the Bosa name. Is that still on your mind all the time when you're out there on the
I
field?
wouldn't even say replacing the Bosa name.
We'll test the mental game here, okay? What's your worst habit?
Not tying my shoes.
And who's your favorite sports reporter? Come on.
Stephanie.
Thanks, Chase.
Corey, great under the post tonight, as well as getting lots of looks and a double-double. How are you able to master that stretch five position in coach's system?
He just has a...
You all would hate to be considered annoying by others, but Duke Money told me that's exactly what he's trying to do. He wants to bother the offense of his opponent, really slow them down and initiate more for his team. He wants to set up his offense. And Coach even said he's not focusing on shooting, it's the defense and to be a facilitator. You may see him averaging more assists than points. It is key to get the win at that point guard position.
Well, Ohio State is making their return to the field after the bye week. They got a little banged up after Michigan State, but having this off week helps them adjust to a shorter schedule. They're playing on a Friday night, and during that off week, Coach Day had the players write down 3 things that they needed to work on.
Well, Columbus, I know you guys are wanting an update with Justin Fields. There was a little bit of a scare in the Penn State game when he went down for a little bit. The whole stadium went silent. It looked like it was a thumb issue. But you guys, Justin looks fine. He's warming up. He's looking like he's healthy.
We can't even get through this interview without your teammates shouting your name. How does that feel to get that extra oomph from the teammates?
It's good, but it's all fun and games.
I gotta know, we talked about it at Big Ten Media Day. When you're trying to study and this guy's over there just trying to play around with you, what is it like at home during that?
So distracting. But,
Our defense was flying around. We were having fun.
You are not a stranger to having fun. I talked to Jordan Fuller last weekend. You're a roommate. Now, he was telling me he puts you in timeout when you're trying to give him a hard time when he's working. Tell me about the timeout he puts you in.
He'll put me in. He don't do that, man. He tripping.
We're excited to have you back. Thanks, Jonathan.
All right, thank you.
He's tripping.
He's tripping. He was telling me last week I interviewed his roommate, Jordan Fuller, and there's some shenanigans that go on at home. They talk about this 2K battle that they have, and I will let you guys know. I took it to a test on Instagram. Jordan Fuller actually won the 2K battle with only only with 54%, so it's close. And I told him next week during the bye we might have to put it to a test to see who the true 2K champion is.
Mano y mano.
Well, guys, we kind of expected this. The rain is coming down. It's not too bad. It's not pouring. It's kind of slick. I mean, I can feel it just as walking down on the turf. The guys are out here. They're in their rain attire right now practicing.
Well, the coaches didn't really give you a hard time about it. They thought it was funny. Assistant coach Eric Snow told me he's got his spies here because he's worked with Stotts and CJ. Now, has he kept up with you? Because he says he's keeping tabs on you through his little spies.
Oh, yeah.
Last time being at the shoe, can you talk about what it was like on your senior day?
Oh, it was very emotional. Yo, my guy. How you doing? I'm good.
Nice to see some familiar faces here as well.
Right. No, but that was...
Individually, lots of national attention, even Heisman talk. Does that get to you at all? Do you internalize that in any way?
I mean.
Your previous team, Georgia, who you guys were tied with in the bye week, fell to South Carolina. You were talking about it. You had some emotions for them, but Ryan Day, your coach, said that it just shows you how fragile success is in college football. How do you respond to that?
At the time, really.
And finally, Ohio State played Northwestern in the Big Ten Championship last season. They look like a very different team, struggling. Is there anything that stood out to you when you guys are looking at film?
And we hope to be the Wildcats. Yeah, the Wildcats. So, yeah.
You know their mascot, right?
Yeah, the Wildcats. Northwestern Wildcats. Got it.
He seems to be confident but not cocky.
That's right. He is a leader. He's very mature for his age. That's something I definitely gather, especially talking with media. But he said
all of this chemistry was built in practice. They're staying over hours. They felt like they were playing catch up. They got a new quarterback. They got a new coach, new coaches on defense. Lots of changes needed to be made. So when they're working overtime, it kind of put them ahead of the game because they didn't slow down.
Well, Coach, we saw you shaking hands with Coach Fickle. You coached him, you recruited him. What was it like seeing him here again, but with UC?
Well, I'm proud of it.
Progress is relative.
Yeah, I spoke to him 4 years ago, and it was his second year at Miami. He was telling me they had quite the losing record, but he's proud of the progress he's made. They're playing big opponents. It's bringing more attention to a school that doesn't really focus on football too much.
Okay.
We were talking about some of the big teams you've been playing on the road, such a challenge, but maybe it brings a little bit more attention to the program, a little bit more of a football vibe at Miami. Do you feel that?
Yeah, no, it's obviously.
Right. I mean, he admits, that maybe there's an unlevel playing field when playing these big opponents. But, you got to give credit to the team and their mental endurance going through this. It builds character. But he said that he wanted to take his time and really think about what university he wanted to go to. Well, he said that a mentor that he met at Nicaragua was from Dayton, an Ohio guy. He said, you got to go check out Ohio State. And when he got there, he told his mom, he said, I could get struck by lightning if I don't sign today. And so that's how he knew that this was his university and he was going to be a Buckeye.
No, that's the right decision.
Well, the Legends have a lot to be proud of this season, and I asked assistant coach Eric Snow, if you could sum up this season in one word, what would it be? And he said, success. They're the only team that's played over 20 players and are finishing above 500. And he says this is a league of opportunity. They can optimize on those chances, and every single game is a showcase. He finished with this equation: hard work plus preparation plus opportunity equals success. And the guys are definitely taking advantage of that this season and heading into playoffs.
Stephanie, excellent report.
You told the Letterman Row guys that, hey, you ate 30 In-N-Out burgers in one sitting, and not only did you do it once, you did it 4 times in, 36 hours? How many burgers did you actually eat?
Yeah, I did have like 4, I'm not even gonna lie. And then I had 2 the next day.
You got to eat. You got to eat for this position.
I was
right?
light. Yeah, I was light. Coach Nick, I was light.
Yeah, even his teammate, Brandon Bowen, kind of dogged him on Instagram, saying he, of all the players on the team, would eat the most on Thanksgiving meal. So anyone who's feeling guilty about that Thanksgiving meal, I think Davis has got you beat.
Coach Mick, I was light.
I was late.
Leave White alone. Leave White alone.
Well, between the two teams, there's 4 candidates in the top 10 for the Heisman rankings. Ohio State, of course, has Chase Young, Justin Fields, and J.K. Dobbins, while Wisconsin has Jonathan Taylor. And these two teams did match up earlier this season, and it was a battle between the running backs. The whole week leading up to the Badgers' visit into Columbus, the Buckeyes were taunting J.K.
Now, I talked to Jonathan Taylor earlier this week and about your game, because it was a little bit of a battle of the running backs at the last matchup, but he said you're a playmaker without a doubt. How do you feel about that?
It means a lot to me, and he's a playmaker as well. So
They had you at Woody Hayes, and you were giving a speech. What were those words of wisdom you gave to the team?
You just can't appreciate what you have until it's gone, and I just want to pass that message.
Even in the NFL, you are still with an old teammate. Dwayne Haskins is still a quarterback. How does it feel to be back on the team with him, even in the pros?
Yeah, I mean, it's great.
So, new coach Ryan Day, you've worked with him before. What are you seeing from him this season that you're really enjoying?
Well, Coach Day,
Tradition runs deep. You guys are a brotherhood, you said, even to this day. Now tell me, why do the wide receivers call you Larry?
it's kind of like an old joke. Coach Meyer was...
Now, you were highly involved in the decision with Urban Meyer to appoint Ryan Day. What are the vibes right now getting into the first full season with him as head coach? Well, Rodney, Luke Fickell has been to this stadium many times, but only one other time as a visitor. He'll be coming through that visitor's entrance. The only other time was when he was coaching for the University of Akron.
You're gonna see.
Does it bring back some memories of this playoff berth, coming alive, jumping through adversity at all?
Oh, of course, because there's a lot of stake on this game right here.
It might age us a bit, but Justin Fields said his memory growing up of a quarterback was you. How do you respond to that?
Oh, wow, what a great compliment, but it also made me feel old, because when you say growing up.
Let's head inside the shoe. Stephanie Otey is showing us how the Buckeyes are gearing up for their battle with Maryland. Stephanie.
Well, guys, the defense is suffering a major loss in 2 star players today. Jonathan Cooper told me he's still waiting till he's back to 100%. And as we know, Chase Young is dealing with the ineligibility issue. But that opens the door for some young guys to shine. Tyler Friday is back, Tyreek Smith, Javon Jean-Baptiste, and make sure you guys look out for number 33, Zach Harrison. He's a young freshman from the area. He's a Lewis Center kid. He's played in all 8 games. He's had 1.5 sacks and 3 tackles for loss.
definitely a big shoes to fill for Chase Young, but he's definitely got the confidence from his teammates. They're expecting it from him. Chase Young even said he's a freak. He's got the speed and the strength, and he won't be surprised if he excels in this game.
Another great game, Kyle. 4 games in a row, double-doubles, just 1 rebound away. How does it feel?
Feel me, so that's what I try to do.
Coach is praising your shooting. You're shooting well over 50% now. How does it feel to make such a contribution offensively?
I mean, it feels good.
He was saying, call me. Was he saying I'm dialing long distance, or is he asking the NBA to call him back up? We'll find out here in a second from Donald Sloan, as right now he joins Stephanie Otey.
We were waiting to tell him his stats. He's not quite sure how many threes. It was 9 of 10. 9 of 10, and he had 9 assists. How do you feel, and what was clicking with you tonight?
Just a good game. So.
Yeah, Devin was saying he's going to get 30, he's going to get 30. But then we see Warney doing this motion. Now tell me what that means.
Back when I games. So.
Well, thank you. It was an amazing game, and clearly we got to give you some time to call your agent. Back to you guys.
Well, thanks, Steph.
One of the many Mavericks vying for consideration for spots on the team next season is Jonathan Motley. He certainly gained the coaching staff's attention during his time with the Mavericks.
Take it away back in the studio.
Yeah, Clay, it was certainly an interesting conversation. I talked to Harry Miller, the freshman center. It was his first time addressing the media this week, but he certainly did not disappoint. So many interesting stories with him. And this week I'm taking you inside the huddle as he talks with me about getting more playing time and a unique extracurricular activity that he enjoys and may want to take to the next level. Yeah, Clay, KJ is just 10 receptions away from beating David Boston's 20-year record here at Ohio State. I talked to him about what it's like to move up in the record books and how it feels to have Chase Young back on the field for his last game here at the Shoe. So this is going to be a tough one for you, maybe emotionally. It's going to be the last one at the Shoe as a senior. You've been here a while. What are you thinking heading into this game?
Man, I just want to have fun,
So Coach Day and Coach Urban both have a moment that they take at each game to kind of savor it. Urban Meyer says it's when they say, hang on, Sloopy, and Coach Day says it's when they're running through the tunnel. Will you have a moment during this game that you'll kind of savor?
I feel like running through that tunnel.
I was talking to you about how the guys were playing shadow boxing at the hotel last week. Are you up for a round?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay.
Give me a direction down.
Okay, ready? You almost did it. You almost did it. Okay.
I lost.
Okay, so keep that one. Keep that one. Okay, ready? It comes full circle for me. I had to toss out the blue and bring the red back in Columbus, but I'm thrilled to be here with the Fever.
That's awesome. Otey and Obi. That's good stuff.
Right?
So,
well, Wyatt, you're known to be such a nice, genuine guy off the field, but you really turn it on when you get on the field. You were named Offensive Player of the Week, first-year starter. Can you just talk about the progress you've made? And also, Coach said loves the DNA you got. You got a big build, physicality. He said earlier that if he's out at night and needs someone to walk him to his car, he's calling you. How do you feel about that? And have you ever gotten that call?
No, thankfully I haven't gotten that call yet, but no, it makes me feel good.
Well, you guys, it was just last year that this was the home to 2 defensive coaches, Craig Madison and Al Washington Jr., who were part of Jim Harbaugh's staff. They were 2 key pieces in what was then the top-ranked defense. It adds a new wrinkle into what is the biggest rivalry, because now those coaches will be lined up across the field from the players they recruited and the coaches they call their coworkers.
I caught up with Sloan on his G League Player of the Week award, and he smiled. He was happy about it, but he said he wants more assists. It's not so much about getting threes. He wants to spread the wealth, and he said, well, when you have a happy wife, you have a happy life. I'll let you guys finish this one. When you have happy teammates, he wasn't quite sure how to rhyme that one, but you get the idea.
You know what? That's a great point, though.
Yeah, Clay, Justin Fields went down in the Michigan game, and all of Buckeye Nation had a bit of a scare. But Justin said earlier this week that he never really gets scared when it comes to football games. He just kind of expects it. But also, you guys, he said that he was prepared. He's been practicing with a brace on. There was a smaller one and a larger one. Justin did confirm that he'll be in the larger brace today.
Such a team player, guys. I mean, you saw the way they leaped into the air. We were watching the press room. Like, it was in unison. They all went floating up. And I was asking him, and he just was like, it's taking care of business. I'm doing it for them. They gave that opportunity to him.
Well, and that's just a testament, again.
On and off the field, we've seen these guys evolve into the seniors, the men that they are today. That was on display here at Big Ten Media Day. But they've had their fun. They've answered all of our questions. It's time to get to football. And Northwestern took to their Twitter account. They had a measuring stick down on the ground, and it measured 9 inches. Well, let's put it to the test, you guys. I think it looks fine. It's nice and short. I don't think the Buckeyes will have an issue, but it has been big talk in the Big Ten that Northwestern will do any tactic to slow them down. And with the Buckeyes coming in, they'll do whatever it takes. But Ryan Day, he told his team, it is natural turf. Be prepared. The equipment managers will make tweaks to the cleats if needed. But at the end of the day, it's a common playing field. Both teams have to play there, so they're only really worried about what they can control. With that, you guys, I'll send it back to you in Columbus.
All right, thank you, Stephanie.
How's my backpack?
And he even had a procedure done during the bye week. He's been playing with a cast all season, but now he's got a bigger cast, so he played through that with one arm. He said he didn't even notice, though. He's playing with one arm, and he says he's just happy to be out there. They're having so much fun on defense.
He wants to be on the field. Now the pride of Gahanna, which is Jonathan Cooper, who has also sort of battled through an injury.
Yeah, when you talk to him, you see the emotion on his face. He's a captain, a senior. You want to play. You want to be with the guys, and so he said it might have been more emotional than physical pain not being out there, but he got to go back out against Michigan State, and he said the bye week came at a perfect time. Now he got to kick back and recover with the team rather than flying it solo.
So he's good to go pretty much.
Yeah, he said he's not back to 100%. He did say that it's lingering on a little bit, but he's just thrilled to be back in the game, helping the team out, being part of them again.
All right, you're developing a nice rapport with the gentleman, which is nice.
He asked for that interview, folks, so he got it.
I like you, kid. You're doing well. Stephanie Otey with Jonathan Cooper.
Now, bye week comes perfectly. I talked to some of the guys how they need that mental break, and they found an outlet. Austin Mack told me earlier this season that some of the guys created an organization called RES. It stands for Redefining Athletic Standards. And basically, it's a safe space for them to talk openly without judgment about being minority athletes on campus. They kind of get idolized in a way, but they want to be seen as a full person. They want to be seen more than the sport they play.
Well, before the game, we were talking about your pros and cons, and you were struggling to come up with them. Can you come up with any pros now?
Rebounds, a double-double for the X-Man, and right now he joins Stephanie Otey.
Well, X, you told me that you didn't know your points. You just really wanted to get the win, but you doubled your season high with 24 points, 10 rebounds. How are you feeling about tonight?
I feel good.
Another thing is the community and the teamwork. What is the feel in the locker room right now getting into the season?
Well, one of the goals that we have.
Still got the dance moves?
Oh, yeah.
Still got the dance moves?
Yeah.
We're going to see him tonight? Yeah. Nick Lachey, so tell me, what are you doing here?
Well, ironically, 98 Degrees had a show.
This is kind of funny. I've interviewed Backstreet Boys a couple years ago. Okay. Now I got you. So is the competition still alive now that you guys are reuniting here?
You got to get Joey Fatone or somebody from NSYNC to complete the trifecta.
Some big news broke for you guys. Chase Young is coming back. What was the initial reaction in having him back?
It was a great reaction. I was very happy. He got that news, very excited.
I was talking to Athletic Communications Director Jerry Amick. He had so many stories to share about you. A man of many talents. You even said you were considering minoring in music. I hear you play the cello, the harmonica, the piano. There's a Facebook group going on with all of your music.
Oh, yeah.
You mentioned Nick and some other teammates. Should we expect a Buckeye band in the near future?
That's what I'm expecting. I don't want to...
You heard it here first, guys. Football Fever. There's going to be a new Buckeye band in town.
That's the hope.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Harry.
Absolutely.
Best of luck this weekend.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, Harry was so much fun to talk to you guys. He was actually valedictorian, so well-spoken. It should be an interesting offseason for the Dallas Mavericks as they look to build their roster. Make sure you guys check all the latest updates right here at Dallas Sports Fanatic. I'm your host, Stephanie Otey, and I will catch you next time.